Okay. So, it says the physical body has a duplicate body, which is invisible to all, but the most sensitive.
So everybody has like a second body, kind of like a guardian angel. What if your guardian angel is yourself in the astral plane?
That might be possible. I actually came up with a theory. I was telling Sarah about it. I said, what if our angels are just on another plane? And it blew her mind. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, but you're tuned to see them.
But that's what I was saying for this. That I don't know if that's actually what they meant, but it's kind of like you have a second self. What if your guardian angel is yourself?
Right. But I don't know if it can
Casey said
think
she
on
could
its
see
own.
hers though.
Okay.
But it was a guy, so that would like throw my whole thing out.
But I think with this, because like I was reading in that book, anything you do here happens in the astral plane as well. So it doesn't have a mind of its own.
So it's an exact replica of what we do?
Basically just in astral form.
Okay. There's this show, I don't remember what it was, but it came on late at night when I was younger. And what ended up happening is, you know how you always have decisions?
Yeah.
Like, I can do this, or I can do this. Whatever you decided, the astral plane would do the opposite.
It's the, I forgot what theory it is, but that's what is the theory that supports the multiple universes.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. Therefore, there are infinite amounts of universes out there.
Whatever decision you decide to do.
That's why I think that there's actually, if you can think of a world, there's a world.
Looks like a slug.
It looks like a Swedish fish. But, okay, let's see.
What were you
I don't know. This is the form which escapes the physical body in a trance.
My tea's cold again.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, but this one actually tastes good cold.
It might therefore be thought of as a form of the spirit or the soul. That's a good way to put it at it, then.
So it's your spirit, but is it there all the time, or just it's like idle until you use it?
I think it's your constant. Ow! I just bit my tongue. I think it's constantly moving with you.
Okay.
I think.
So I'm just gonna think of it as a guardian angel, just to get my mind wrapped around it.
I wish they would tell me who this Fodor is.
This fuck.
It's like, his name is Fodor?
Fedoris.
Fodor, okay.
Pandora.
This is cool. When it leaves the physical body, it's able to pass through seemingly solid objects.
Huh?
When you leave and go into your astral body, it can pass through anything, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So your astral projection thing can go into walls and stuff like that, like it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, our astral bodies move with the speed of thought, like I was telling you earlier. You think of it, you're there.
Oh, okay, but you have to, like, really think of it. You can't just be like, I'm there.
To think of another location is to immediately be in that location.
But I'm thinking of a location, and I'm not in that location.
You're not in the astral world.
Okay. See, that's what I thought we were talking about, like, in the real world.
No, that would be awesome.
That's why I was like, you can't just think of it and be there. You have to actually, like, think of it.
Because in the astral world, the laws of physics as we know it do not apply there.
But what if it's a place you've never been?
I don't know.
Can you go? Like, what if I thought about going into BAP's dorm, and I couldn't go?
I don't know. I do know you can, some people say there are infinite amounts of planes in the astral plane. There are witches and astral travelers that make their own little place to hang out in the astral world, and they just make it up.
But I mean, like, real places. Like, what if I wanted to go to BAP's dorm in my astral plane?
I don't see why not. Probably personally, knowing you might have to know a bit of what it looks like, maybe.
I know part of it, but that's... I feel like your mind would create it. So that's why, like, I don't want to be skeptical. But then I'm just also like, what if it's just your mind, like, creating things?
Yeah.
But,
right.
Like, I don't know.
Well, they say your mind and spirit and emotions reside on the astral plane. Let's see. This is not surprising as it might actually appear initially when one considers the radio waves that move at the speed of light or 186,000 miles per second, the equivalent of traveling around the world 450 times in 1 minute. Ooh. Nice. Many
That's
of those,
a lot.
yeah, many of those capable of astral projection at will have spoken of the initial difficulty of recognizing the state. They will walk about the bedroom not knowing whether they are in fact walking in their sleep or actually astral projecting.
That's so cool. But then how do you realize which one it is?
Actually, when I was first learning about astral projection, they said to figure out if you're asleep or if you're awake, jump. And if you float, because technically you'll be able to float in the astral plane because the laws of gravity.
What if you think of coming back down to the ground?
You probably can. You can probably put yourself back down, but they were saying jump 3 times, see if you go up. And if not, you're in the real world. If you do, you're in the astral plane.
Okay.
Oh, there is. It is only the discovery that they can float up to the ceiling or out of the room that confirms that they are actually an astral projection. Can you just imagine? You're just like, whoa!
I'm in the other room!
I remember as a kid, actually people say that as a child, you can
Astral project?
you can astral project, you can like see things as a child because your veil is more thin and everything. And I always claimed, I don't know whether it was a dream or not, but I remember as a child, I was in our old house on Culpeper Street, and I was walking through the hallway, and I jumped, and I just jumped up, and I was just floating there to my room. And I remember that, and I'm like, I swear to God that was real.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, was I astral projecting kind of thing, you know? Those kind of things, it's like,
But you'll never know.
I know.
You can guess, but...
It is possible to teach oneself to astrally project. There are a number of different techniques found. Many witches are capable of it. The idea of a witch flying off to the Sabbath is thought to be attributed to the astral projection.
So maybe some people can't do it?
Everyone is capable of doing it. It takes practice, but some people it just comes more naturally.
So I kind of want to do it one day. Looks fun.
Actually, I have I can send them to you.
There's little...
I have guided meditations to astral project, which the one I was using is the one I got that searing headache after. But
just pass it on to me.
And it's they're like 45 minutes to an hour long.
That's fine.
But
I just feel like I have such bad luck. I feel like something bad would happen.
Nothing bad will happen, honestly. I think you'll be fine. If anything, if it really unnerves you, like with me, I always wear my pentacle.
Yeah.
Whatever. I actually was wearing this today too. But
I don't know. I just because like I said, I always have those things where like I'm always unnerved about things. I don't know if that's just my anxiety, my natural anxiety.
Well, always, if you want, light a candle beside you.
Yeah, but that just... I think it's because I'm a very vulnerable person, and just by regular people, I'm very vulnerable. That I'm constantly feeling vulnerable. Type.
There are, stuff in my book to help you, basically raise your guard up. And to kind of, like, protect yourself in a sense. Some people, have it, like, casting a circle. I don't really believe casting a circle is necessary, but I can do it in my mind's eye, and therefore it works.
Yeah.
So,
As long as you do it in thought, you can do it.
To me, nothing is going to happen as long as you have the intentions of something happening.
I know, but if... I always, like I said, I always have that thing in the back of my head.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I feel like that would bring on something bad happening.
Right. So I'm not sure.
Do you not understand what I'm talking about, though?
That's why with me is like I want to try some things, but then I feel like something would happen.
Yeah. And I feel like once you start thinking about something bad happening, whether or not it actually happens or if it's your mind playing with you, it's enough.
Kind of like with the Ouija board.
Yeah. And that's how I am.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. The appearance of ghosts can be attributed to the astral projection in some instances. When the apparent ghost of someone who is known to be still alive is seen, then the most obvious explanation would seem that they are actually in the astral body. blah blah blah.
Ew.
So that's what I wanted to do was fly. Let's see. The secondary figures such of the location never mind, I'm just skipping over that. But the astral plane is also home to the spirits of those who have died. A ghost is therefore more usually the astral body of such a dead person made visible to those on the earth plane. Which is awesome because I thought a lot of that too. So the astral plane is basically the home to the dead as well.
Okay.
And when we see them, they've somehow made themselves visible.
Appear. Kind of how we can go to them, they can come to us.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think so. Which I've heard, like, on TV that it takes a lot of power for them to do so, But I don't know if that's just TV talk.
Those TV shows, I never believe them, though. As much as I want to believe them, it's just...
Yeah.
No matter what they do, I always think it's fake because you could always do that stuff with, like, see...
Yeah. There's one dad was watching. He's like, "Oh, you gotta watch this." I'm like, "Okay." It's like hillbilly paranormal.
There was this one that I was watching about the miners. And it was
You were
really
telling me
good.
about that one. I forgot to look it up.
It was pretty good. Like I said, it's still, I don't know if I believe it
Sketchy.
so much.
Right.
But that's just me being sketchy about all this stuff.
Keep an open mind, but always question.
Yeah, definitely. And that's how I am. That's kind of how I am with these things. Like, I want to believe them and believe everything about them because it's so interesting, and I really wish all of this stuff is true. But then I'm also like,
seems sketchy.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the stuff you grow up thinking of. Kind of like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but
yeah. I get what you're saying. Let's see. Oh. The marked difference between the astral bodies of the dead and the living is the fact that the living have a connection between their astral selves and their physical bodies.
It's kind of like a red string.
It's silver cord.
Oh.
And it emanates from your belly button.
So it's kind of like an umbilical cord.
Basically. It's what attaches you. Some people are just like, but can your cord detach and then you somehow fly away from your body? It's like, no, the only time that cord snaps is when you're dead. And that's why people are just like, but something's gonna take over my body. It's like, no, it's not. Nothing's gonna take over your body. It can't, as long as that cord is still intact.
Okay.
So.
But then how does it sometimes?
Only when you die. Let's see what this says.
So when something takes over your body, that means you are dead and that thing's in your body. You're not in there at all.
It can't take over your body. I mean,
I guess it's different than possession.
I guess so, yeah. Because it says, the silver cord, a very fine and infinitely elastic connection that is broken only at death. Should the astral body be far from its physical counterpart at the moment when the body is disturbed by sudden sound or contact, then the astral body returns at the speed of thought from the pull of this cord. So if something was trying to get into your body, you would instantly snap back.
The only issue for me is that since I do have like the ADHD, any type of like small sound I would hear. So I think doing this would be even harder for me, because since I hear, like, I can't focus on one thing.
That's why a lot of people hate guided meditations. That's why I do like these meditations, because the woman will talk to you, but then she'll literally disappear. But then there's something very, very tiny playing in the background.
To still make you aware.
Not to make you aware, but so that your mind doesn't get distracted by other sounds.
Okay.
And so it kind of helps.
I don't know if it's because of the fact that, like, I hear everything or whatever, but the, like, very loud sounds scare the shit out of me. Like, most people would just kind of be like, oh, what was that? But for me, it's like I'm like, oh my god, what was that? Like, today, I was, like, I'm at work, and I'm kind of in my own mind at work, because that's the only way I can get through work. And I was passing by the dish room to go bring my cart into the kitchen, and all of a sudden here, and someone had just dropped a small crate onto a carrier thing. But it's like, I was like, oh my god, what is that? It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I was going with that, but
I get into some moods. Like yesterday, I was walking in my bedroom, And I didn't realize.
Likes to smell shoes. Your cat likes to smell shoes.
I don't know why she loves shoes so much. But I was walking in my bedroom and Vicky was coming into my bedroom. Oh my god! I opened the door and I don't really jump that much. I don't get people. Dad tries to scare me and I literally was like, shit.
It's because yeah.
And she was like, I'm sorry. Like, it's okay.
It's alright.
And I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, no.
It just happened. I made a cube. I can't eat gummy things without playing with them.
Let's see. Oh, here, starting to talk about evil entities, about entering your body.
Okay.
So in popular fiction, it is intimated. Sorry.
I can't say that word either.
I'm not familiar with that word.
Imitated.
Intimated is what it says.
Imitated.
No, it's intimated. INTIMATED.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I can't say intimidated or all that stuff. It's just, it's so close to each other.
It is intimated that the evil entities can sever this cord when the astral body is away from the host, causing death. Apart from the improbability of this theory, should any attempt made to interfere with the cord, it would only result in the astral body immediately returning to the physical.
So pretty much it's safe.
Yeah.
If something tried to, your body would
snap
come
right back. And once you're inside your body, nothing can really harm you.
Okay.
Unless you purposely have let your guard down. But I don't know how possible and like that is. Okay, we have 3 more paragraphs, which is amazing. We've actually gone through this entire page.
Really?
Yes. I've skipped around like a few things. But since the astral body of both the living and the dead are to be found on the astral plane, it is possible for the spirits of the living to meet there with the spirits of the dead. This explanation of dreams in which one meets and converses with those who are dead to have known have died. Blech. The dreams are memories of nighttime encounters on the astral plane.
What?
I totally screwed up. When you have a dream that you met someone that's already dead, that actually happens, what they're saying, just on the astral plane.
Okay.
There's a theory, I don't know if they're going to talk about this here, but like I was saying, what if it happens, what if our dreams are actually real?
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe that when we dream, we're in the astral plane, something's just happening to us in the astral plane.
Okay.
And therefore, when it's talking about infinite planes on the astral plane, anything can happen. The ancient Egyptians believed in what they termed Ka, which was in effect the astral body. Isn't that amazing? The Egyptians were so smart.
Of course, definitely.
One of the first fucking civilizations. Yet they are probably more advanced than we are in a sense.
Same with like the Mayans and stuff like that.
It scares me. It terrifies me. In Egyptian art, it is shown as duplicate of the physical body as being vital force which gave the body life. The Hindus call it Linga Sharira. Yeah, okay. Last paragraph. A celebrated and well-documented case of astral projection to the astral plane was that of Oliver Fox and his friend, Elkington and Slade. They decided to I know about this. They decided to conduct an experiment in the astral projection by agreeing to meet on the astral plane at a specific time and date. Fox and Elkington kept the appointment, which was on the astral plane's equivalent of England's Southampton Common. Slade, however, did not show up. When questioned some days afterwards, Slade complained that he had not been able to dream at all, hence had not projected to the arrangement meeting place. Interesting.
But all the others did.
I don't know what the point they were trying to make there was. So they tried an experiment, but it didn't work, so they came up with an excuse to why it didn't work. That's what it seems like to me, a fluke experiment.
But it also makes sense as well. He didn't dream, so he didn't get to go there.
Right.
Meaning it's more truthful instead of saying, oh, they all met up there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why didn't he go? He didn't go because he didn't dream, type thing. So it could be both ways.
Mm-hmm. Like with lucid dreaming, I don't know if that'll happen in here.
Lucid dreaming, there's a way you can make yourself, like,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
You have to teach yourself.
Yeah, like, I try to do it. I fall asleep each time, so I stopped trying. But like you have to lay there in complete silence and try to put yourself to sleep for like 20 to 45 minutes.
It's hard.
Yeah, because I always end up falling asleep.
I've tried it. There's meditations to do it as well. Yep, nope.
But yeah, they were talking about meditation. Oh, no, it wasn't yoga. Well, it kind of was yoga we were talking about. But it was like meditation yoga type stuff. That we were talking about in class.
Yeah, I like, if I ever got into teaching yoga, I'd want to focus on, like, the meditation part and the spiritual aspects of it. Let's see. Our transportation book.
It took me a second.
I picked this book. I'm like, hey, that's smart.
Oh, your feet are in my face. No! It's not like they're nasty. I just don't like feet.
I just took a shower before you got here.
I know, but I just... feet.
I read almost, like, probably through half of this book, and it was teaching you how to get into the astral, or at least some form of world. But I had a lot of quarrels with this woman. She was saying, now when you go into here, you have to remember how you got there, because if not, you won't be able to find your way home. I'm like, bullshit. All you have to do is wish it and you're there.
Yeah.
So, there was, like, some things in here. Like, I read an article last week, when to call, it was about the pagan world, when to call someone out on their bullshit.
I'm trying to find, is there something in here about falling?
I think so. I think I've read it before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, like...
Well, it's fine. But it's awesome, because I'm like, you know what? Because this woman's review of the article, I didn't read the article itself, but it was like, because some witches claim that, oh my god, they met this 6-headed koala bear in the astral world.
Yeah.
And they're gonna teach you how to meet it too. And it's like,
you're so
bullshit.
bullshit.
There's like, when did you call people out on it?
Yeah.
And then someone replied, they're just like, I don't think you do at all. You know, you let them believe what they believe, as long as they're not causing harm to
That's
people.
kind of how I felt about Syra. Like, I was like, she can believe, like, I don't technically believe all that,
because
but...
my thing is, what if they actually believe it? And it's probably Damon. What? Don't do that.
That's not Damon.
What? Ugh! It's a grasshopper!
Kill it. Go kill it.
I don't want to kill it.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, okay.
What?
I don't have any shoes down here.
I can't, like, I couldn't see what it was. At first I thought it was a big-ass spider.
And
That's why I kept staring at it. I was like, okay.
Oh my god. Oh, it's really a grasshopper. It's okay.
Still don't like it.
Hello, buddy. I need something to put over it because then it's going to jump in.
Put the Caesar thing on top of it.
It's going to jump out. It's going to jump out. Oh my god.
You're like, oh my god.
Hi.
Did you get it?
You're kind of scary, but you're kind of cute all at the same
Can we
time.
see? Oh, get it away. Get it away.
You're not cute like in the fairy tales.
I know. He is not my content.
No, he's not. I don't know why you want a grasshopper.
I don't. I'd rather have a bunny.
Angela, this is unnerving.
Why?
I don't know. It's scary.
Well, you do have a bug in a cup. What'd she do? Did she jump out of nowhere?
fucking heart attack.
All I heard was, David!
Well, she jumped out of nowhere onto the
Oh, she followed you.
onto the freaking mattress. Hey, baby. Hey, come here. Babes.
I wonder if she knows I'm here.
She knows.
Oh, she left. That's why at first I thought it was Damon's ear, so
You
I kept
freaked
watching.
me out because you were like, I'm like, oh god, what's down here?
Well, yeah, because at first I thought it was her ear, and it kept coming up, and I was like, is that a spider? And then I was like, I don't know what that is.
I was blowing up a tire outside. There was a fucking spider. This big on
I
it.
saw a spider this big outside my house.
I was like,
oh my god!
And
I didn't go into my house through the front door because that's where it was.
Mm-hmm. It was terrifying.
Oh
they're,
god,
they're
I know.
terrifying.
I don't like spiders.
It's like, I don't like them, but I'm trying to learn how to respect them because
They're needed.
they're needed, and as well as in the pagan magic world, they are like the crone, the old lady of wisdom.
They're ugly.
So, but the only reason why I got better with them was because when I was reading in this book for once, the astral world is where you can meet your like totem animal, your guide, your animal guide. Yeah.
I don't know what my animal guide is.
They actually have a meditation in here to meet your animal guide. I haven't done it yet.
I want to do it.
Okay, hold on. But basically there was some way I was like reading, they have a whole bunch of different animals. It's like, maybe this is your animal, and it gave you like a description of them. And a lot of times your animals will change. And
Depending on your changing?
yes and no, like they'll change to teach you a lesson. And I was terrified of spiders. And then so for whatever reason I'm like, well, maybe I have a spider as my spirit guide right now. And it's kind of silly, but I remember I was reading in the living room, and I was going to the bathroom or something, and I was like, if just like one of the stupid things, I was like, if a spider is my spirit guide, let me find one going down the hallway. And I turned the corner and I looked down. There's a little spider on the wall.
Aww.
And I'm like,
I mean, they're cute sometimes.
and I leaned down, I was like, hi little guy, and he like spun in circles. And I was like, oh, hi there. And so it's like, it depends.
Sometimes they're really cute, and I'm like, I'm not gonna kill you, and I just put them on a little plate, and I'm like, okay, go outside.
Yeah. So people are like, spider! I'm like, don't touch it.
But you also eat like 8 of them a year, and I'm like, I sometimes I don't kill them, but I still don't want them in my room.
Every once in a while I'll squash them, like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, now the army's gonna come after me. And
Okay, you have to find me the falling thing.
oh, right.
Oh, and then you have to find me. I wanna read the animal thingy.
Okay. Let me see. I swear, because I think they went over the most common things.
Because that's what I was reading real quick.
Yeah.
But I didn't. You were talking, and I can't read and talk. Oh no, you're fine.
Common dream types?
It's just easier to ask you where it's at instead of me trying to search it.
Right.
Because I have falling dreams. Okay,
Sexual dreams.
because I've read a lot of different things. Like, people say it's like your life is spiraling out of control, or because like when that happens, you can't reach on to anything. You alright?
I randomly got like a shot through my leg, but we're good. Keep going.
Good. So that's why it's like you're spiraling out of control because you can't reach on. You're just falling.
Right. Actually,
So I wanted to see what they say about it.
have you ever, speaking of falling, it reminded me, have you ever been just like sitting there and you'll kind of like not doze off, but your mind will travel away, and all of a sudden you jerk back and you feel like you're about to fall?
I do that when I'm sleeping, or like when I'm laying down, like almost
Like you'll
sleeping.
jerk?
Like I'll wake up type thing.
Some people say that means that was your body trying to go into the astral world, trying to rip away, but then it jerks back.
Oh yeah.
So I've always found that fascinating.
If I ever like jump back and stuff, it's always when I'm, cause I'm always daydreaming. I'm always in my own mind.
Right.
But when I'm actually like that, that's when I'm trying to sleep or am sleeping.
Yeah. I remember reading it somewhere. Wait, fear and anxiety.
My life. I'm not even like that when I'm awake.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, like, I hate it. I can't even have normal conversations because I'm scared of people.
I understand. Heights. I don't want a dream workshop. There's a shitload of dream workshops in there. Relationships. I'm just gonna have to do the freaking flip through the pages. I think so. I'm guessing you already looked through the index.
Not really.
Sigmund Freud. Okay, I'm just gonna start flipping through a little bit.
Good.
Sacred traditions, REM sleep. I'm just talking to myself, don't mind me.
You're fine.
This is cool. Between waking and sleeping, just because we were kind of talking about that, if you observe yourself in the process of falling asleep, you may be aware of a strange half-world between waking and sleeping, in which you catch a glimpse of strange images or experience a wide range of ideas. Does that...
I mean, my mind is always a mess right before I sleep because I have all my thoughts collect and I have trouble sleeping.
Gotcha. It says, yet, coming back to full wakefulness, you remember little or nothing of these thoughts. This is known as a hypnagogic state. Many renowned artists have reported receiving fantastic visions during these states. Interesting, okay. That wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be.
My mom gave me sleeping pills that are over the counter. They're called Vitamelts. Mm-hmm. And they're really cool. There's some for like energy or vitamin D and vitamin B. And this one's for sleeping. It's melatonin.
Oh, okay.
And it's chocolate mint flavored. You just put it in your mouth and it'll melt in like 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
But if I take one, I'm literally asleep in like less than 5 minutes. It's great.
Have you ever heard of a drink? It was the Bob Marley drinks. They're like the exact opposite of energy drinks. But they're by Bob Marley. I don't know if they have an exact name, but they have this like stuff in it that totally calms you. Yeah, it's like, you know, weed without being weed. But me and Tanya and Adriana got one time, and we're just like, oh, let's try it. We all took a few sips, and then Tanya's making dinner. I'm just sitting on the couch, and Adriana's just doing something, and we're just like, why are we so tired? All of a sudden we're like, oh my god, we drank that shit, and it fucking works. So, if you ever see it, they have it in Wegmans and stuff, you should totally buy some.
Alright, I'll try it.
You just never drink it while you're driving.
Alright, I won't.
We tried to get Mom to try it, but she had just drank it. Drank coffee.
Drinking
coffee.
I'm drinking. But there's also
a workshop.
People who don't want to do weed because it's illegal. There's Pep Spice that does almost the same thing, and sometimes Pep Spice. It's sometimes it's even worse. It does effects even worse than that. Like, I knew someone who did it that was so potent that he was high for like 2 days.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because he kept coming to school, and I was like, you are just messed up. But yeah, it's legal. Like, you can go to the tobacco store and go buy it.
Damn. Did you know there are different levels of dreaming?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Dreams from the pre-conscious, dreams from the personal unconscious, dreams from the collective unconsciousness.
I really like dreaming.
Oh yeah, they're really cool. Basic dream skills.
When I took psychology and we got to dreaming and I knew some things, my teacher was so impressed. And
I know. I love that.
When I was a little bit younger, not like child younger, but like early teens, mid-teens younger, whenever I would have a dream that really interested me, I would look it up. But I don't know how much I trust like those online things.
Right. It's kind of cool in here. They have little workshops. They'll give you a dream and then you interpret it. But I'm not looking for that.
I need to start writing down my dreams.
It helps you remember.
I know, but it's just...
it's hard to get into. I did it
Yeah.
for a while.
And I don't dream all the time.
You'll start remembering them once you start jotting them down.
I know on this medication, because I sleep throughout like most of the night and I don't dream. It just knocks me out.
Right. Well, everyone dreams, you just don't remember.
Yeah. It doesn't help that I wake up a lot. So like I'll wake up and I'll remember my dream real quick, but then I fall asleep like 2 seconds later and it's something different.
Yeah. Studies show that people who regularly experience nightmares tend to be open and sensitive by nature.
Huh.
Interesting.
I still thought that was weird. I don't know if my dream catcher works anymore after that. But like,
Have you cleansed it?
No, I should have. I know. I think it like after that it just like got combottled. But cause the way like I have my dream catcher up like this too except mine's hanging on my wall.
Yeah.
And I used to sleep on this side, but then I switched to this side, and I still wouldn't dream that much, or if I did, it wasn't anything bad. But then, like I said, I get really uncomfortable, so I'll move and I'll sleep weird. And this was a while ago. I had moved back to this way, but then now I'm back to laying. I have my pillows at the end of my bed, and I sleep like this. So, now that's how I'm sleeping again. But before, when I first started, I started getting nightmares. Because I wasn't near, my head wasn't to my dream catcher. It was on the opposite side. And it was like right after. And I would like have consecutive nightmares. But then it stopped.
Right. Yeah, it's like I want to believe in them. Honestly, I don't know if I believe in them or not. It's like the thought is nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the thought and everything about them. I really like dream catchers.
That's why it's with some stuff it's like as long as you have the intentions, it'll work.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
a lot of things are in your mind.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, how much is your mind playing you, or how much of it is real?
Right. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? If it makes me feel better, kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to live that way? I can't find it.
It's fun.
Wait, guide to dream symbols. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm just.
Find me my spirit animal.
People. No, we don't want people. I don't want to do much up. Sexual symbols. You want to learn about sexual symbols?
Coats.
Landscapes and places. Buildings and conveyances. Actions. Riding a bicycle in dreams is often said to be a sexual symbol.
What?
But it can have other interpretations. That's why I hate some stuff about Freudian. That fuck. I swear to God, I have not been drinking.
I believe you.
Okay, whatever. I keep yawning. Stop it.
I'm sleepy. Because since I've been taking those pills, I've been going to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So it's difficult for me to stay up.
Gotcha. Okay, we're done. I can't find it.
This time. Now find me my spirit animal.
Okay.
Or just where I can read about the spirit animals.
Here we are. I'll skip through stuff. Animals are everywhere around us, constantly adjusting to humans and visions into nature. Their subtle presence is always felt but rarely acknowledged. They are hidden seers of humanity.
So they watch over us.
Basically, our pets are our loyal companions. They are with us when no human seems to care about us.
My animals.
David! Animals are telepathic, communicating on a vibratory level. We are connected to animals biologically. Just trying to find something relevant. In ritual, we can summon the energies of various animals and access their astral substance for good use. Many witches and pagans access and work with their animal guides regularly, especially in solitary ritualism. Not only does connecting with their animals help us fine-tune our ability to perceive the astral, it adds to the energy of the animal's consciousness at the same time, so that the human and non-human species are in the same state of kinship and mutual development. Some pagans and earth-based spiritualists use the term totem animal interchangeably with spirit, medicine, power animal, or sometimes familiar. So there's a whole bunch of different words.
I think I've heard familiar before.
Familiars is when you, like, a lot of times when you watch a witch movie, where a witch will have a cat, that's her familiar.
Okay.
Let's see. Spirit animal. One's personal animal guide is called one's spirit animal or medicine animal. I think that's called medicine.
Well, there's the medicine man.
Maybe. It is the embodiment of a collective animal consciousness of a particular species, the essence of an earthly animal as opposed to the mythological beast or exclusively astral creature. It is typically an animal local to the place the person is born. And a spirit animal walks alongside someone from birth, though it may leave the person or drop into the background later in life.
Aww. That's sad.
It probably comes and goes depending on if you need them. Most people experience 1 to 4 animal guides in one lifetime. Some animals accompany a person throughout a whole lifetime, while others make themselves present only on occasion. Some people experience a plethora of animal guides, perhaps working regularly with them at any given time.
So is it the same one?
No, they're different ones.
Okay.
If a person changes little throughout the life, multiple animals may not be necessary. Animals change as a person's energy dramatically shifts. In many native
I probably had like 2 or 3.
In many native and shamanic tribes, multiple animals are ascribed into the cardinal directions as personal guardians and watchers. It is believed that each animal comes into our lives, physically or metaphysically, to teach us something about ourselves and reality. The animal simply comes to the practitioner rather than manifesting as a result of intention. That is reserved for the power animal, described below. Personally, my spirit animal is a raven. Sometimes he gets on about himself, which is fine. Damon, what are you doing? Animal guides are protectors, remaining invisible to the mundane eye, but lending their energy in every situation. They can guard a house, ritual space, or property. They can also be ritualistically sent to other planes to gather and report information.
My piercing itches.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Many practitioners meet their spirit animals in dreams or meditative state trances. Some people identify with their spirit animal to the point where they feel themselves to be that animal. Still knowing their humanness, they observe their actions, responses, blah blah blah. Many who feel this way don't feel comfortable saying, I am bat or I am wolf. That reminds me of, like, Carly.
I was going to say Carly and her wolf.
Yeah. I used to think that she had a wolf spirit guide. James, what you doing?
Running in and out of the room.
Everybody has at least one animal guide. Its presence may be felt when alone in a room or a ritual setting, as though something unseen is watching.
I've gotten that, but it's creepy.
I know.
And scary. I don't think my animal guide should be creepy or scary.
Members of a particular animal species may insist on following a person for long periods of time, a sure sign that the animal's spirit has something to teach. A person may feel an inexplicable affinity for one species or another and wonder why. So if you're like, why do I love this kind of animal so much? Like
I
with
really
me,
like dogs.
I love cats.
Yeah.
And owls. Conversely, someone may be
dogs really love me. I'm like a dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Cat, not that. Some cats hate me. But most dogs, like, if a dog isn't comfortable, like, I went to... Someone was watching Katie's dog while we went to the beach, and she had other dogs. And apparently there was this one that didn't like other people. Not so much it was mean, but it just didn't warm up to others.
Right.
But I even without asking about, like, how are dogs, I'll just go up to them and start petting them and stuff. And I'm like, oh, hey. I mean, I'm cautious. I don't, like, run up to them just in case they don't want me near them.
Mm.
But I'll go up and, like, hey. And it just lay down, let me pet it. And they were like, she's letting you touch her and pet her. And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, she usually doesn't like people. I'm like the dog whisperer.
Conversely, someone may be appalled or repulsed by a particular animal or insect.
Spider.
Grasshopper.
Any insect.
This is a sure sign that the medicine of the animal has something grand to teach you. Remember when I was talking about spiders? That's why I kind of let my fears
But I don't like
away.
any bugs.
Me either. Oh my god, they all want to teach us something.
They're all gross.
We turn around. We're here to teach you. No. That's cool. I can sometimes tell people's spirit animals simply by looking at their face and body features. Both face and body often exhibit minor details pointing to the animal's presence in the person's energy field.
Oh, does he explain it?
Maybe, hold on.
Because I'm going to be really mad if he doesn't. I'm going to call him up. Tell me which one am I? Do you remember Sarah Yates, right?
Of course.
She said, like she could see color aura. And I don't know how much I believed it or not, so I asked her a few times, but each time the color would stay the same.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what color?
I was like cerulean blue. But
I've always wondered, what the colors mean. Like, we've talked about it in yoga.
mm-hmm. She said, at least, she told me, I don't really remember what they are. I just remember blue was very, like, you're calm, generous, stuff
I know,
like that.
talking about it in, like, the, spiritual sense with, we talked about it in yoga, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That some people, they were able to create a camera that can capture your aura.
Oh, really?
She was gonna have someone come in, but I guess
couldn't.
we never paid. It was like $30 a picture.
Mm-hmm.
But, basically, according to this one, the color that you see is your, whichever chakra is open. So, if, going by that, your chakra that would be open would be your throat chakra, because your throat chakra is blue.
Okay, so
Throat is communication, being able, to speak clearly, and everything.
stuttering, thinking of words, saying winding.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just
I'll have to like research more about it.
Right.
But I just thought that was cool that like I don't know, maybe she just remembered that she told me the same thing, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
That doesn't help me. He like mentions, like gives examples, like maybe you're a cat if you act like this or that. I see humans as creatures capable of embodying vibrations of the animal kingdom as a whole. The potential medicine of any creature, great or small, mustn't be dismissed. From osprey to muskrat to anything in between. Reality itself is living, vibrant pattern of immaculate... I cannot say big words today. Fuck it. When animals and creatures make themselves known to our conscious mind, we can choose to pay attention to the divinity expressed therein. And then there's also a difference. There's something called a power animal. While a spirit animal is more or less given in a person's life, a power animal is conferred by another person. Okay, so we're not going to read about that. It talks about like a tribe, like they can give you something.
Oh, they can give you a power animal?
Yeah. So we're not going to read about that. Let's just get going. Here's another one, the totem animal. They were like on the tribes, Indians. Unlike the previous two, totem animals are often seen as guardians of a particular tribe, family, or area. You want to learn about that? No, we're not. Okay. So he has a thing called the Darkly Bestiary, which, since this is a book based on...
Is it weird that my arm, like, bends?
No.
Like, when I go like this, my arm, it'll go down and then sideways. Some people thought that was nasty.
I can do it, so
like,
I don't
when I go
find
like
it nasty.
that's what my arm turns into. So I looked at my arm up there and it, like, was weird.
I don't find it weird. Some people just, joints are different.
Sorry, keep going. What?
But, here he's talking about the darker animals because this book is based on shadow magic.
Yeah.
So, basically, people that are reading this are most likely going to be tuned into the darker animals.
Okay.
But, the animals listed in the following pages are a few of nature's darker creations. By this, I mean they are naturally in sync with nocturnal and mysterious energies and particularly appeal to people attuned to the darker energies. Basically what I just said. Many shadow workers have one of these. I do believe it is beneficial for dark witches to call upon these animals when needed, when feeling a suggest mutual attraction. If you know your animal guide or wish to invite the essence of a certain creature into your life, it is very beneficial to call its energy forth in personal rituals. Oh, cool. Not included here are mythological creatures such as dragons, phoenixes, werewolves, and so on. This is not to say that these creatures don't exist, because I have certainly had my fair share of astral encounters with them. Which, reading this, is why I kind of believe Syra. Because perhaps she really does have a dragon as a thing. Because in the astral world, we can think of it, it basically exists. So, it's like, in my story, my actual story I'm writing, my character has a phoenix as her, watcher kind of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, Syra has her dragon. Okay. A reminder, always leave offerings to your animal guides.
Like what?
The ideal offering is a food that the animal enjoys on the physical plane. It can be left inside of your altar or outside in a special place where the guide's animal brothers and sisters will come and consume it.
Huh.
So,
I want to know what my animal guide is.
let's see. Okay. They have a whole bunch of different ones, and basically they say people with this kind of medicine will act like this. So, I'm going to name off all them, and then you can tell me which one you want to see if you're like. There's a bat, there's the cat, there's a chameleon, a crow, a fox, an owl, a raven, a snake, a spider.
A crow.
Okay, maybe crow. Vulture, wolf, and that's it.
Try the crow first. Because there's something, like, birds are really pretty, but there's always been something about crows that I love crows.
Okay. Slightly smaller than its cousin raven, the crow is associated with both light and darkness. It is diurnal, active during the day, rather than nocturnal, and its shiny black feathers remind us of the polarity of darkness and the light. The crow is a scavenger and aids in the end-of-life cycle decomposition, speaking of the necessity of death to sustain life. After all flocks of crows is called a murder.
Hmm?
A flock of crows?
Oh, it's like you said all foxes.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, what?
A flock of crows is called a murder.
Huh. I didn't know that.
The Navajo viewed this bird as a psychopomp, or a transporter of the dead souls. People with a crow medicine have a greater perspective on the cycle of life and death, and have an innate ability to voyage the plains and communicate with departed souls. Crows are avian watchdogs. They warn others of the intrusions of hunters and predatory animals. For this reason, they are associated with the awareness and message bringer, and their dark color reinforces this link with prophecy. They communicate with acute awareness, and each bird is closely tied to the others. I have noticed that many crows communicate telepathically, like when I throw a cracker. They call, and basically they gather together, Likewise, people with crow medicine are naturally connected to one another and can intelligently adapt to a given situation. Crows are able to keep a safe, protective, and neurotically clean nest. So those with the crow medicine find themselves doing the same, putting much stock in wellness and health around the home. Though the crow and the raven are similar in many ways, they have different calling voices. Surprisingly, the crow is a member of the songbird family, though it is one of the few songbirds that doesn't have a steady song. Their calls can liken to be a summoning from the divine, haunting and intense, permeating and constant. The crow is there to remind us that the spirit is always present. People with the crow medicine may tend to be misunderstood, often finding themselves torn between extremes. They are naturally psychic to some degree, but have difficulty coping with that fact. They are also master illusionists, able to skew and manipulate situations to their liking, a talent that can be used for both positive and negative ends. They are stubborn in their own way and will fight for what they believe to be right. Again, a double-edged tendency. Like all scavengers, crows may snoop where they shouldn't, and they sometimes overstep unknown boundaries. This is an annoyance to many people, as in the personal, natural, flighty, or spacey nature. If awareness is given to these predispositions, the crow can be an extremely powerful animal with which to work with.
Kind of, like, I don't want to just be like, yeah, that's me.
Bits and parts,
but
it's not screaming out to me.
Yeah, the one part that just made me kind of think of it is that I am very in tune to, like, how people feel, whether they tell me or not. Like, that's why I have such difficulty at work, because people are very nice to me, but I can feel how they really feel about me, type thing. And that's how I am with people. Like, I know how they feel, whether they're telling me or not how they feel.
Right.
But that's also what my psychologist said about ADHD. That's how they are. They're very...
Really? What happened to my phone?
I think she was saying something about that, but they're very in tune to how others feel. Instead of, like... Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.